I watch a lot of football, and I'm there for aesthetic reasons. I like to just watch the drama as it unfolds. There's always a human story to be found in every game. So I tend to just pick games completely at random. I quite like seeing teams I've never heard of. I've never been to their town or village before, just to get an experience of what's going on and the drama that can be found. Then as the afternoon unfolds, I love it when all these little subplots come to the fore, see what's going on, see if there is a dramatic end to the game. You know, the tension can build through the game as full time approaches, and you're seeing who's going to win, who's going to lose. I like plenty of drama in it, but of course, I don't mind which team supplies the victory. I spent many years as a partisan, following a largely unsuccessful lower division team.
Come on, who?
Well, it was Sheffield United, a team that's had more than its fair share of misery, and it continues to this day. So we had far more defeats than victories. But what I found as a partisan is that while you could appreciate the good play, the beauty, you could appreciate the aesthetics of your own team, you weren't in a position to take that same kind of enjoyment from the other team. Okay, so it seemed that only half of the aesthetics of sport were accessible to you as a partisan. Now, looking back now, as I've matured and become more of a purist, I think back at some of the games I saw where we lost the game in the last minute, and I think that was a really dramatic game. At the time, I couldn't appreciate that at all. You know, for me, a defeat was catastrophe. A lot of people think that the purist is missing out on something by not supporting the team. Okay, so there is this discussion in the journals in philosophy of sport. And one idea is that the partisan, they feel such intense joy when their team wins that the purist is missing out on what sport's all about. You know, sport is all about a competition, and at the end of it, there's a winner, there's also a loser. Here's what I would say in response to that. I'd drawn a distinction that John Stuart Mill makes between higher and lower pleasures. Mill gets a lot of criticism, and there's a lot of discussion about, you know, just really can you defend this distinction? But here's a case where I think you might be able to. So the partisan does have a very intense joy when their team scores a goal, or at the end of the game they're the winners. But I'd also argue that it's a rather shallow joy, because victory doesn't last long. There's always the next contest to come to, okay? Whereas the purist, although they may be calmer, they could be taking a deeper, more satisfying pleasure from sport. I'm not trying to suggest that we shouldn't have any joy in life or intense moments of satisfaction. There are all sorts of reasons why you might feel that kind of intense joy. But I feel that the purist way of watching sport hasn't been given a fair hearing, and some people think it's just insane that anyone would bother going to watch sport when they had no interest in who won. So I'm just trying to make the case for it is a reasonable way to watch sport, where there is a concentration on the aesthetics. I think we have to distinguish between the support of the partisan and then just an observer who forms a view about who deserves to win. Okay, so if you take as an example the last World Cup final between Spain and Holland, I was one of those people who went into the game slightly rooting for Holland, because I remember the Cruyff era in the 70s. They were a great team. They never quite won the World Cup. They came very close, and I thought, yeah, Holland really deserves this victory. once the game started, I saw the way in which Holland were playing the game and the way in which Spain were playing the game, along with, I think, almost everybody else other than those who don't live in the Netherlands. I thought, no, they don't deserve to win this game. They're not playing it in the right way. So, yeah, I formed a view about who deserved to win, what would be a just result. And so I was pleased to see that the team playing football in the right way ended up winning it. But I don't think that that counted as support or partisanship. The supporter is someone, I think, who stands by their team no matter how they're playing. You know, it's a kind of longer-term loyalty. So the very next time Spain play Holland, it might be that Holland play all the good football again and Spain play dirty. It's hard to imagine now because they're such a good team. But if that were to be the case, then I would immediately form the view that Holland deserved to win that particular game.